Hi guys, this video is Cancer and how to tell if they like you, what they're like when it comes to love and relationships. I do have shorter, more to the point videos dedicated to Cancers when it comes to love, flirting, relationships, dating, stuff like that, and when they are available, I will link them up here. But this video is going to be pretty lengthy. You can watch it if you are a Cancer sun sign and you just want to know more about yourself when it comes to relationships and love, if you're interested in somebody that has their sun sign in Cancer, and you can also use it if you know that somebody has their moon sign in Cancer or their Venus in Cancer, and then you can go ahead and watch whatever their sun sign video is to get a better understanding of them. It's going to be a long video, so you might as well get multiple uses from it. And because it's going to be a long video, I am breaking it up into a few different parts, and I will be listing timestamps down below. First, we're going to talk about who the Cancer is really. Then we'll talk about what is the Cancer looking for when it comes to love and relationships. How do you know if somebody's a Cancer without asking them their birthday? What do they like? What do they not like? Are they interested in you? How can you get them to notice you? Are they not interested in you? So who is the Cancer really? Cancers are born anywhere between June 21st and July 22nd. If you're on the cusp of either of those dates, look down in the info box below for a website or an app to figure out what your sun sign is, or message me. They're the sign of the crab, their element is water, their quality is cardinal, and they are ruled by the moon. Oh, the moon. So, like I just said, they're ruled by the moon. So right away, we know that this person, the Cancer, is going to be one who has a lot of ups and a lot of downs. They change as quickly as the tides come in and then go out. And they can be beautiful, chaotic people. Though Cancers are often changing, they are actually a cardinal sign. They may not like change, but they're not too stubborn to accept it. They can definitely adapt, even though sometimes change can be difficult for them. They are open and willing to adapt. And it's not so much that they'll fight a change. They can definitely for sure, but it's more that, they'll be sad about it or emotional. Cancers are very hard workers, and I do feel like this is a fact that's glossed over a lot when it comes to talking about Cancers. They can be talked about as being nurturing and creative, caring, emotional, moody, and they just want to chill at home. And yes, some of this stuff is true, but there is more to them than that. Cancers want to succeed in life. They want to have a direction or a purpose that they are pursuing. They might struggle with finding that, and that can be difficult for the Cancer because they really just want to feel useful. They want to feel like they have a purpose. And even more importantly, they need to feel recognized for their efforts. And whatever it is that they're putting their effort into, they want to be recognized for that. It's not like a Leo or a Libra where they're more so looking for admiration or flattery, which is fine as well. It's just that they want somebody to acknowledge the hard work or the dedication that they put into things. They have a fear of not being seen for their abilities or for, again, their efforts. And they also really worry about being abandoned or rejected, so they'll work extra hard to avoid these things if possible. So are Cancers really as moody as they get the reputation for? In my experience, yes. And I'm not trying to be rude. I would actually say that they're less moody than they are sensitive. I think that Cancers in general are just very sensitive. At least I know a lot of Cancers, and I feel like that is a very valid, true quality that they have. They are really sensitive. Yes, their moods can go down and up seemingly without warning. But once you start to learn about a specific Cancer, you can start to gather what it is that makes them seem moody. A lot of times it can be related to something that they perceive as a slight, and Cancers can be particularly sensitive to certain things. If somebody doesn't acknowledge that they did them a favor, or if they do somebody a favor and this person, just kind of like throws it back in their face. It could be like something really small or something that somebody else wouldn't even think that would make somebody upset, and a Cancer can get upset about it, and that can cause them to come across as moody. But coming along with this sensitivity, they're very caring individuals, and so they'll go out of their way for people, and it can be disheartening for them if people are doing like the exact opposite of that, or just not seeming to care or realize, how much effort Cancers put into not only their careers and stuff like that, but to the people that they care about. Like, do you need a favor? Call a Cancer, because they'll probably come through for you if you're somebody important to them in their life. Even if you're not that important to them, but you're just somebody in their life, they'll make a point of trying to help you out. And then it can be frustrating if, they do that for you and then they hear that you've said something rude about them, or you don't say thank you, or you don't come through for them in a similar situation. It's not like they expect to get what they give out in return. It's just that their feelings can be hurt, especially when they're the type of people to give a lot of themselves to others. Cancers can be easily bothered by criticism or gestures that are inconsiderate or uncaring. Again, they'll do anything for people that they care about, and it can pain them to not receive this, not even the same in return, but some level of it in return. They don't even need to have people give them what they give, because they give a lot, so they don't need to have that, reciprocated in return at the same level. They don't expect that. But if they don't feel like they're appreciated for what they do and who they are, it can really sting them deeply. When Cancer's feelings are hurt, they aren't likely to spell it out. Instead, they do tend to shut down and hide away from whatever it is that's hurting them. This can come about and seem like the moodiness and the crabby moods. But really, they're just trying to avoid a fight, and they're trying to avoid being hurt further. Cancers are the type to perseverate as well. They can hold on to things for a very long time. Like, they are the type that's going to remember if you did them a favor and you went out of your way from them. They'll remember that about you, and they'll appreciate that, and they'll pay it forward to you in the future. But they can also remember if you, hurt them, offended them, betrayed them in any way, even if it's something like you didn't even realize you did, and they'll hold on to that for a long time. And that's similar to what we talked about. Well, I made a video about Scorpios recently, so it's kind of similar to the Scorpio in acting that way, holding on to things, good or bad, for a long period of time. But the difference is Scorpios can react by, fighting back, wanting to retaliate. Whereas a Cancer will kind of like hold it in and let it affect them emotionally and eat away at them. I mean, don't get me wrong, they can cut people out of their lives, or they can not go out of their way for somebody that they've been hurt by. But they're not the type to go looking for retaliation or revenge. I mean, it can happen for sure, but it's not what they tend towards. But they can definitely obsess or hold a grudge over a perceived slight for years, if it comes to that. Cancers are loving and nurturing. They want a family. They're associated with that fourth house of home and family. And it doesn't have to be in the traditional sense. But whatever way it happens, whether it's a group of friends, whether it's their pet, whether it's, a partner, whether it's having a bunch of kids and a huge family, whatever way it happens, their family is very important to them. Not only that, their home is very important to them as well. And again, it's whatever that they consider their home. Do they spend a lot of time at the office and their desk is their home? Fine. It's going to be very important to them. But their environment needs to feel right and comfortable. And both of those things are way up here when it comes to Cancers in terms of importance. They like traditions, they value their family, they value their environment and their home. And they're also very protective of their home and very protective of whoever it is that they consider family. Again, this can be extended past their biological family. Maybe they're not close to their biological family. They have a found family, one really tight-knit friend that's their family member in their eyes. Whatever it is, they can be very protective. And again, they'll go out of their way for people that they care about. Cancers can be intuitive and creative. Their artistic side can come in many, many different ways, but it's very unusual for a Cancer to not have some type of creative or artistic talent. Cancers can be very understanding, especially on an emotional level, and they can really read the room, so to speak. They can pick up on how people are actually feeling, even if somebody is not outright saying it. They're really good at doing that. In addition to this, Cancers are good at pretending to be whatever they need in order to make it work for them in that moment. Yes, they can be moody for sure, but they can also fake their moods, and they can read others well in order to do this to their advantage. They have the ability to people please, and some of this is done, to avoid people disliking them. But again, they also know how to use it to their advantage and to get what they want. Cancers love to be comfortable. They kind of know what works for them, what makes them happy, for the most part. So they can be really good at getting other people to go along with what they want to do without actually forcing anybody. It's more of a subtle manipulation. They can use their charms to persuade other people. Okay, so now you know a bit about who the Cancer is. Let's get into the good stuff. What are they looking for when it comes to love and relationships? The real deal and someone they can spend forever with. They want someone they can rely on and somebody who's also going to let them get their way most of the time. But seriously though, a lot of Cancers come on really strong and they'll go out of their way to please you in the beginning of the relationship. But when the relationship has been going on for a bit, you'll soon start to realize that they like things their way and they expect you to like things their way as well. Cancers want somebody that's going to appreciate them and also somebody who's not going to take them for granted or take advantage of them. They're looking for love, but they're also looking for steady reliability. They want the passion and the security. Security is very important to Cancers, and this will come through in all aspects of the relationship. They need a strong sense of trust, not only with their partner, but also with financial situations, their home, and of course, being able to trust that their partner is trustworthy and not lying to them or betraying them in any way. Cancers do tend to be jealous and possessive when it comes to relationships, but they really just want their partner to be theirs, and they worry that they could lose them to someone else. As much as a Cancer will need their partner and they'll rely on them for many things, they also want to be needed as well. They need to feel useful in a relationship, and they want to have something to offer. They want to be able to provide assistance or help or, some type of purpose. They like to care for other people as well as be cared for, and they really like to have a balance of that. Cancers need someone who can understand them on an emotional level. Too much stress on reason and practicality, and a Cancer is going to get irritated. They need to have a partner who's at least going to try to comprehend what's going on with a Cancer on an emotional level, because if they can't do that, then they're going to have a really hard time comprehending who the Cancer is as a person. Cancers aren't always a type to act on reason, and they aren't always a type to follow the usual way of things. Sometimes they act out of pure emotion, and not understanding that quality about them is missing a huge part of who the Cancer is. Cancers are going to want somebody that they can create a home and a family with. Again, it doesn't have to be the traditional style of family, but somebody who aligns with their ideas for the future is very important to them. If you guys have totally different ideas of what you want in the future, that's going to be a big deal to the Cancer. Maybe some other signs, they'll kind of sweep it under the rug or just won't care at all, but Cancer, it is important. Cancers are moody, sensitive, and also temperamental. They do have tempers, and they need somebody who can handle all of that and who's not afraid of their ups and downs and occasional outbursts. How do you know somebody's a Cancer without having to ask them their birthday? Cancers are known as homebodies, but if they do go out, they're often out with a big group of friends. They tend to travel around in a group of people. It's almost like they're with their security, But they do like to have that sense of security around them. So even if they're always out with their dog or something, or they travel with their best friend, they don't tend to go out by themselves. I mean, they definitely can, but usually they're surrounded by people that they feel safe with. They might be quiet or they might be rowdy. A lot of times Cancers come out of their shells when they get into the party mode, and they can be drawn to that a bit. But the other half of the time, they're just quietly relaxing or blending in with their group of friends. They might be doing something creative or artistic. You catch them on the street painting a portrait. If you're around a group of people and people are playing games or something at a party, they can be the type to get competitive about it. They may have a far away or wounded look to them. Lots of Cancers know emotional pain, and sometimes you're able to actually see that in their features and on their face. They might offer to help you out or do you a favor. They're probably wearing comfortable but really good quality clothing. You won't typically find a Cancer dressed in something that's super tight and they can barely breathe in, but they're also not going to be dressed sloppy either. They're going to be dressed nice but comfortable, stylish athletic wear or something. If they're wearing leggings and a sweatshirt, it's going to be, nice leggings and a nice sweatshirt. They'll ask you a genuine question and seem to study you, and it's like they're really knowing what's going on with you without making it obvious. They might be sulking or acting out, getting into trouble or getting pissed off at somebody. What do Cancers like? Food. Cook for them and you're good. I mean, it's true. They like things to feel romantic and a bit magical. Remember, they're ruled by the moon. In addition to that, they like to help you out or feel like you need them in some way. So don't be afraid to ask them for a favor. I mean, don't take advantage of it or take them for granted, but it's okay to ask them for a simple favor as long as you're willing to return it, or at least say thank you. They like somebody that's not afraid to address things on an emotional level without making it weird. Somebody who they can feel safe with. That security and feeling safe is very important to a Cancer. So they appreciate things like beauty, looks, money, status, stuff like that. But mostly, on top of everything else, they just want to know they're in good hands. Somebody who compliments them on a genuine level. They don't mind if you give them a good amount of compliments. They'll actually love it. But they need to be real and based off of things that are true about them, and not just use, as a flirting technique or as a tactic to get them to be with you. Somebody who's open to meeting their family and friends or whoever it is that they consider important. Also somebody that fits in with said family and friends. Not that you have to be just like them or anything, but, gets along with them. They like people that are sweet and lean towards optimism. That see things with the glass half filled mentality. Somebody that is honest is important to them. Somebody with a creative or a unique talent or hobby. Somebody who can spend a lot of time with them. They like to spend time with their partners, but also understand that sometimes they just want to lounge around and relax. And they just want to chill and, have some space. Even if you're sitting on the couch together, sometimes they just need to not be bothered. And they prefer someone who isn't trying to force them to go out all the time. What do they not like? Somebody that comes across as not genuine, feeling taken advantage of or manipulated in any way, being insulted, don't even joke around, it's not a good idea with Cancers. They're just not the sign that's chill with being teased like that. Even if they pretend to be, just don't do it. Somebody who's just got that cynical, negative personality or vibe to them, they're not going to be into that. Somebody who lies or makes a Cancer feel in any way that they can't trust them. They do better with the warm, open, and honest types. Not too honest though, because you don't want to hurt their feelings. A little white lie here and there is okay. But somebody who's cold or playing mind games or just has a lot of walls up, that's going to be hard for the Cancer to deal with. Somebody that's not passionate, not creative, or tends to be really more of the practical type that isn't into creative pursuits at all. If somebody doesn't have any interest in their family or friends, in meeting them or in, getting along with them, or if they don't have the wants or need for a family in the future, or they don't introduce the Cancer to their family or friends. Again, somebody that's like always wanting to be out and about and never just wants to chill at home and relax. Somebody that makes them feel like they're not needed or that they don't need them, they're not useful in any way. Even if somebody's just very independent and the Cancer just doesn't know what their purpose is to them, then that can be something that they don't like. Ignoring their kind gestures or never returning them, a Cancer will notice that and they're not going to like it. Is the Cancer interested in dating you? This is not the sign that's going to openly let you know that they're interested in dating you. They're the type that are afraid of rejection, of the person that they're interested in not being interested back. So it can be a long while before they announce their true feelings, if at all. They might become your friend, your tutor, your handyman. Again, they'll find a way to make themselves useful to you. They may show signs of jealousy towards other men or women. If they're interested in someone, they do tend to be the affectionate type, like they tend to want to hold your hand, or it could be something very subtle. They might give you little hints that they're interested, but you're really not sure what they mean. They might kind of like throw a little clue out there just to kind of see how you react, and then you're not sure. It's kind of vague. You're like, are they interested? Are they not? What did that mean? But it's their way of starting to slowly tell if you're interested in them. If you tell them that you're interested in them and they're interested in you back, they might start to get very romantic. They'll probably take things slow while making themselves an important factor in your life. They might do little things like remember some small detail about you, offer to give you a ride, give you advice, seem genuinely interested in the goings-on in your life. Ask how you're really doing. Pick up on your emotions, do you favors. And again, they want to make themselves valuable to you, so they'll find a way to get into your life and make themselves somebody that you can't be without, or at least you think you can't. So how can you get the Cancer to notice you? So you're interested in the Cancer, but you're not sure if they've noticed you. How can you get them to notice you? Give them a compliment that lets them know that you appreciate them. Ask them for help in some way, shape, or form. And if they jump at the chance, that's a good sign. If they kind of like brush it off, then, you're not on their top priority list. Be warm and genuine. Again, they need to feel safe and secure around you, and they're going to be paying attention to this. Intrigue them by asking them to get involved in a new activity. Ask them about their interests. If they did something nice for you, make sure you let them know it's appreciated. But I think, again, the biggest thing is getting them involved in your life in some way or asking for their help or assistance. They need to feel valued by you. And just being somebody that they feel safe and secure around. Yes, they might not jump into being interested in you right away, but being there for them time and time again will be important, and they will eventually notice this. How can you tell they're not interested? They don't ask you how you're doing. You don't notice them trying to find a place in your life. They're not around or doing things for you or calling you or, becoming somebody that's important to you. They aren't, pursuing even a friendship with you. Again, if you did ask for a favor and they kind of put it off or don't do it, that's a big sign. If they make any comments about you seeming untrustworthy, then they're probably not interested, especially if you guys haven't even started dating. Or if they say anything about you lying or not being genuine, even if they're joking around about it, or they seem like they're joking, they may seem really moody around you, and this could actually be a sign that they like you as well, so this one's a bit confusing. If they're moody around you, then they just aren't trying to turn on the charm when you're around. But it could also be that they're getting frustrated that things aren't going anywhere with you, so that could be a sign that they are interested. It could go either way. They aren't trying to get to know you. They don't pay attention to you. They don't introduce you to anyone in their life. Maybe you are friends with them, but they're not really bringing you into their inner circle. Because Cancers are definitely the type to be fine with being just friends as well. But if they're not introducing you to people in their life or paying attention to you, it's a sign they're probably not interested. They don't share any interest with you, or they seem offended by something you said to them or did to them. If they aren't affectionate at all around you, if you're not getting the feeling that it seems like they know or understand you, then they probably aren't putting the effort in to do so. So that's a Cancer and how to tell if they like you, what they're like when it comes to love and relationships. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe for more videos like this, and thanks so much for watching. I will see you in my next video, and have a good day or night.